What's up, everybody? Welcome back and happy Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. And they're linked as always in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out there. We got a Minneapolis and Duluth risk in the mix for today. It's looking pretty scattered in terms of severe hail, maybe some high winds, but we'll get into all the risks in a second. And then that whole risk is going to shift off to the east into tomorrow, so the Ohio Valley is going to be in it with hail and wind in the works. And then last but not least, going to leave you guys with the next 48 hours. How's it looking for roofing conditions across the nation? And then we also got your 5cast coming up for DFW, OKC, and Denver, so stay tuned for that. But before all of our weather stuff, we got our All-Star Stadium tour happening in Atlanta tomorrow. That is going to be at the Truist Park Stadium, and Derek is going to be the keynote speaker there. So go see him. There's prizes and giveaways at these, so it's a good time. And if you're not in Atlanta, I think we still have maybe a couple more coming up. We'll have more info on these later. So now getting into our weather, current conditions wise, I mean, you can see where it's going to be hot and where there's a chance for severe weather and where there's a chance for some rain. Pretty much coinciding there, there's that low pressure system up in the Midwest. With that, we've got a cold front. It's kind of like right there where you see those clouds starting to move in. And with that, we'll get more severe weather sparking up through the northeast part of Minnesota and then tracking through Wisconsin. So if you guys are in Duluth or Minneapolis, La Crosse area, pretty much anywhere along that I-35 corridor, you got a chance to see some severe weather happening into this afternoon and evening. And then good old Florida in the southeast, you got some popcorn storms with the tail end of a cold front here. And those are just going to kind of roll over the Florida peninsula and pop up around the southeast for the next few hours for today. So got a couple chances of severe storms in the mix, and the rest of us, again, they're going to stay hot and dry. 92 degrees in Denver, guys. Usually you guys are holding down the fort for cooler weather. Not today. 92 degrees out there, warmer than it is in Dallas right now at 88. And then the rest of us are going to be sitting in the 70s and 80s. So that heat dome is getting kind of squeezed off to the southwest and central part of the nation as these troughs push out into the northeast. So this whole area is really going to be the only region that has a good chance to see consistent rain and cooler weather for the next little bit here. In terms of dew points, it's better. Not great, not terrible. It's 50s and 60s across the nation, so going to feel a little bit drier than it was for the past few weeks here. And then again, feels like temperatures out there not too bad compared to what we were seeing before, but we're still in the 70s and 80s through a lot of the central part of the nation. 111 in Corpus Christi, 112 out on the Florida East Coast. So a lot of us still seeing those triple digits if you're down in the far south, and still baking pretty good in the central part of the U.S. And that's not expected to let up, unfortunately, in the next little bit. But it is getting us some unstable weather, and if there can be those cold fronts, that's when we start to see some severe storms popping up. Now through Minnesota, this is just our cape. This is the lift in the atmosphere, all right, to help us get some storms, but upper air temperatures aren't super cold, so this isn't going to help us out a ton with hail, but it could get us some high winds, could get us some rotating storms, and there is still that potential for some severe hail, especially where values are going to be most high by around 6 p.m. Now storms are going to be forming up to the north, so it's going to depend on if they can spread down to the southwest in time to reach those high Cape values if we want to see that large hail into later today. So kind of taking a look at it here on our futurecast, that's kind of what that line is going to look like. Again, developing up to the north through Minnesota and tracking into the upper peninsula of Michigan, parts of Wisconsin. Duluth could be seeing effects from that line around 7 p.m. Central. Then as it tracks down to the east, now we start to see it spreading through the La Crosse area, through upper parts of Iowa, and any tail end Charlies, as we like to call them, any individual cells that form along the end of that line, could potentially produce that large hail, but it's really going to be a wind show with the majority of this as it pushes off to the east. And then through Florida and the southeast, it's pretty much going to be this for this afternoon and evening. Some rumbles of thunder, heavy rain here and there, maybe a couple of high wind gusts, but it's far too hot to get much severe hail down that way for today. So for your hail forecast, pushing that up through the Midwest here. And again, there is a chance for maybe even some ping pong balls into today, but it's really going to depend on if that line pushes out into that area that has that better instability. So low end chances are going to be through here to see severe hail. The best chance of seeing severe hail at least a quarter size or larger is going to be through Duluth today. And then the rest of us are in a low, mostly going to see a wind threat and maybe some small hail here and there. Same story for the southeast, as well as winds now tacking onto your risk. Starting up in the Midwest, again, Duluth is really the risk to see some high winds with the front edge of that band as it's really developing through. Could get some trash cans blown around if it's, your trash day, so make sure you're aware of that or put any lawn furniture or whatever inside. Storms rolling through later on this evening and then pushing into the Marquette area, but it should be weakening by the time it gets out that way. Then down through Florida, there we go, low end chances from the East Coast all the way down through like Tampa, Melbourne, could see some gusts up to 60 here and there, but that's going to be with those popcorn storms that are going to be developing through this afternoon. Tornadoes are possible. Along that line, anything that does form is likely going to be along the linear part of the storm, so those tend to be quick spin-ups here. But we could get a couple brief tornadoes passing through, again, the I-35 corridor through Minnesota and Wisconsin into today, so we'll want to be on the lookout for that. Then the line's going to continue to shift off to the east tomorrow. Wind with the beginning of that passing through Cleveland and then through like Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. We'll see some storms trying to form behind that. This is going to use a lot of the energy to produce a lot of severe weather. So we'll see how much time these have to kind of have the atmosphere bounce back, help them form some severe hail. Right now looking kind of low end for those. And then they'll just kind of flicker on and off as they continue tracking through parts of the Northeast, Ohio Valley, etc., with some severe weather. So for your hail forecast, keeping it at quarters for right now through that region. Again, the front end of that line likely to produce wind through this same highlighted area, and then any hail chances are going to be low with those isolated storms out behind that first system. So Fort Wayne, Detroit, like Lansing, Cleveland, Columbus, you guys are in that risk for hail and wind into tomorrow, and we'll keep you updated on what that looks like into the next few hours. Now in terms of roofing weather, I know a lot of you guys are kind of curious to see where's good roofing weather and where isn't, and a lot of us are maxing out these dials right now, or even Phoenix kind of breaking it, reaching 110 degrees out there in the next few hours here. So peak heating of the day, around noon to 3, seeing some really, really hot weather down south. Not a lot of rain, so that helps you out, but also not a lot of wind, so not a lot to cool you down if you're in any of these areas for today. Then into tomorrow, could potentially see some scattered showers out this way, not a whole lot of relief in general for a lot of the south and central U.S. And then again, we'll have that system tracking through the Ohio Valley, so you might have some cooler weather, but then you're going to have to deal with those storms. So you're really going to have to kind of, pick your poison. You want it to be super hot, or do you want it to be kind of stormy during the day? That's kind of what you're going to be dealing with for today through tomorrow for our roofing forecast here. Southeast is pretty much in the clear, so you got that. And then out in the Colorado Rockies, again, just working with those scattered showers. So a little note here, if you guys are up on those roofs, did some Googling, and here's some temperatures that you get on different roof surfaces here if it's just an average 90-degree sunny day. So black roofs can get up to 190 degrees. Painted metal 140, still 140 if you're on a gravel roof, and a little bit cooler, or I guess it's painted metal 115, and then unpainted metal is 140. But regardless, triple digits across the board here, and that can cause a lot of heat-related illnesses. So if you guys are at a higher risk for those, or just in general, take those breaks. Seek some shade and some AC if you can, and drink a lot of water. Try not to prolong your time out there, because that's just for 90 degrees, and a lot of us are seeing much hotter than that into this middle of August. So just take a note. Now I'm going to leave you guys with your OKC, DFW, and Denver 5-casts here to end the show. Working our way back into the triple digits for Oklahoma. That fall weather's gone. We're back to second summer, and so 106 degrees is expected for the high on Saturday. No chances of rain and sunny skies, so lots of baking weather through Oklahoma City. Pretty similar for Dallas, 110 tomorrow possible, and then, you know, breaking even that on Friday. So really, really hot in DFW. I don't think that's any news for you guys, though. I mean, I think the urban heat island out in DFW is pretty well known, so going to be dealing with that triple-digit weather out into the end of this week, beginning of next. And even Denver's pretty hot. I mean, again, they beat DFW in the current temperatures for right now. Not going to continue to exceed Dallas type of temps into the next few days, but we're still sitting in the mid-90s for the next foreseeable future here into Sunday. A little bit of cloud cover, though, and some sporadic rain chances will help us out with that, you know, super high heat out in Denver. So that's some good news for you guys. So that's what we have for today, and we'll update you guys tomorrow through the Ohio Valley for your severe weather chances, and if anything crazy happens through Duluth, Minneapolis, La Crosse, any of that whole area, we'll let you know. We update Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok pretty constantly, so you guys can follow us all on those. We're at Hail Trace on everything, so we're easy to find. And then if you want to get in contact with us, go ahead and scan that QR code in the banner up above me, or click the description in this video. They've got a link there for you guys to get access to our severe weather products. We map all these storms live, so that's what you'll be getting access to there across the nation. Anytime something is severe, we're mapping it. So good tool to have. And if you guys have questions about that or about the company, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll let you guys know what your severe weather risks look like as they come at us. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.